but we're gonna try to approach it in a fun way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
Obviously, there's nothing fun when what it pertains to, but you know that's not for us to pass judgment over. That's on everybody else individually to do inventory of themselves after this podcast, and if we can at least get you to that point where you can do inventory of yourself about the subject we're going to talk about, then I think we've succeeded. Okay?
Yeah, no, of course. Judgment has been a word that's been used, more recently than others, or more frequently than other times, and the word inventory too. So I think those are two key words.
Yeah.
Those are just the two things that stand out to me. But continue.
We're gonna get right into it, bro, because I gotta I feel momentum to do this one. We burned one just yesterday, and me and Dave were like, fuck it, I felt good, so we're here a second night, we're double backing, and
We're double fisting.
yeah, we're fucking going back to back on this. So
might go triple.
this is episode 27 of the Neighbor Podcast. Welcome back, folks, to all my neighbor listeners out there. We are greatly appreciated for all the support. 1,000 downloads and counting, so please keep them coming.
1,021.
1,021. Beautiful.
Actually.
There we go. So here we go. Subject or title of episode 26 of the Neighbor Podcast is, do you believe in God? And if so, with word or action? Right off the top, because you're here. What does that mean to you?
Answer us, audience. Not me.
What does that mean to you?
All right. Well, for people who know me, I've always said, I believe in a higher power.
Okay.
There is a higher power out there. There is something that was directly involved in our creation. But I am skeptical of the visual premonition, the stories that were perceived and everything. It just doesn't add up to me. And me, I'm a visual guy. Science. It's got to make sense. I have to see proof.
I'm going to reel you back in just a bit.
Yeah.
I think what you just discussed, fuck, bro. Who could really answer that? It's too big of a fucking question.
But
let's refocus on how I pose the question or the title of this podcast. Do you believe in God? And if so, in word or in action? So, well...
No, I don't. And here's why. There isn't any... Nobody's met him. Nobody knows who he is. And the information, everything that's been given down the line has been tainted and redone and edited over and over again. It's a Wikipedia shit show. Secondly, I think it have to be in word, and it's a two-part thing because...
and listen,
yeah.
No, we can talk about this for the rest of the year.
Yeah. No, you're right. This is what I choose to believe because of what I've been through, my circumstances, and everyone can have their own perception on that. I think I don't buy into the whole idea of a certain religion. However, they do give very...
That's a whole other podcast in itself.
Yeah.
Do you believe in religion? No. No, I don't. But see, it's gonna, I know, listen, I think it's impossible for us not to go into get derailed throughout this podcast because it's such a fucking heavy question.
Yeah, and I think
it's funny that you went there though.
Huh?
It's funny that you went there automatically. God, religion. It's funny that the correlation is that strong, and I believe it's that strong for most people. I believe it's impossible to associate God and not get a sense of religion in your mind in association.
Well, that's because I believe that people are hardwired to ask questions. There's some deep consciousness. We are curious. Everyone is curious by nature. Some more than others. Some are more awake than others. It doesn't matter how you put that term in your head, but we ask questions and we take action. Now we can ask questions in the back of our mind and remain silent and be dormant. However, I don't buy into the whole religion thing. However, they do give very, very good lessons, facts. I mean, things that could help you out significantly depending on what you're going through. And I think that's key.
Yeah, but so does a life coach.
Huh?
So does a life coach, and they don't call that religion.
That's true.
There's
Yeah.
no doctrine there being sold.
And I could probably, I could probably bet the farm that they don't make as much as, a priest. But anyway,
Yeah.
that's a whole different podcast too.
That's a whole different podcast.
Jeez, why am I? Okay.
Yeah. No, listen. It's impossible not to
Of
go,
course.
not to get derailed. It's such a fucking big question.
And my boss is gonna have me take notes on this so we can make shows out of everything we just mentioned. But,
So,
but I, that's what I believe because I have steered away from it. But I am thankful for the experience that I've had with my pasture and my divorce and everything. I went through very, very good information. He's a smart guy. And he didn't force me to do anything, didn't force me to stay. Why aren't you coming? He just said, Godspeed. That's it. He's very genuine. And he wished me luck.
what are we talking about?
My pastor, my own pastor.
Got it.
I'm not going to say his name. So out of respect, out of him.
What religion was it?
Christianity, yeah, Christian.
Christian. Okay.
So that's what I believe. Things that I've chosen, a personal choice, freedom that we are allowed to choose what we want to believe, what we feel works for us, and apply it to our lives. Whereas we don't have to buy in and get sucked into the,
Indoctrination.
Yeah, Jesse's word, indoctrination.
Yeah.
So yeah, and that's what I believe.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, it's a long
And
answer.
now that you've gotten us here, do you believe in it in word or do you believe in it in action?
In word and action.
Because see, I could say, you could tell me that you believe in God or that you don't believe in God.
I think they go hand in hand. You have to, if you really, really want to be better, you have to, in word I say, not just say it, but say it to yourself and then do it, apply it.
Well, see, that's what I allude to in a lot of fucking things that we've discussed here before. You should do it not to convince other people,
For yourself.
but to convince yourself.
That's what I mean by word.
There's no fucking benefit spiritually, physically, culturally,
Mm-hmm.
to convince people that you believe in Him.
Correct. Yeah.
It means that you gain nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a little acceptance because people will say like, oh, well, you know what I mean? That's good. He's a God-fearing man. He believes. But people just say it like, they would say, to me, someone saying like, oh yeah, I believe in God is, and me getting to know them for a while, it's like, that's funny that you'd say that because your character shows something completely different.
Yeah. Gosh.
Your character shows me
Yeah.
something completely fucking different. Listen,
How's my answer?
well, we haven't even finished
Oh,
answering.
sorry.
It's gonna, I mean, this shit might even go into like 2-3 parts, bro, because it's like a big fucking question, bro. This is the eternal question, right?
Yeah.
This is the eternal fucking question.
Yeah.
And please keep in mind for everybody that's watching it, we're answering this from a level of analysis that's introspective with our lives, experiences that we've had, faith that he has belonged to, faith that I was born into, not by my choosing, but through my parents,
Yeah.
which is something that most of us have acclimated to.
Mm-hmm.
I was born into Jehovah's Witness religion because
That's right.
my parents, that was their practicing religion. I'll say that. I won't say that they claimed to be or they got baptized in it. That was their practicing religion. That's the religion. That was their practicing religion.
My mother was practicing. Yeah, she was full on. Dived into Catholicism.
Yeah.
When my parents first got married, and then she became born again Christian.
Yeah.
And she, I've seen the transition was very.
Well, see, it's funny because similar correlation with my mom and she was Catholic. Like my mom was like a devoted Catholic. Where when she was in Mexico with my grandma, they used to go and fucking dust the saints off every day. They would go to, I don't really even know anything about Catholic Church, but they would be like at all 3 masses. Like, I believe there's 3 masses,
Yeah.
right? They would go to all 3 masses. And what really flavored religion different for my grandma was that she asked the judge if she could ever own a Bible. And back then, women didn't have the same fucking rights that they do now, but this is how the judge answered her. You know what I mean? My mom's gone over the story over and over before with me.
Mm-hmm.
She said, listen, woman, the Bible's not to be read by just anybody. You got to be of certain stature spiritually to be able to receive the information that's in that book.
Jeez.
She was like, he told her, you could go crazy trying to unpack what this means. And so he denied her the chance to fucking have a Bible.
Jeez.
So, you know, eventually, shortly after that, they moved down here,
Mm.
you know what I mean, to the United States. And, you know, so that flavored things weird, you know what I mean, for my grandma, you know what I mean? And she passed that on to her kids. She was like, you know what, ask the, you know, what would you even call the priest, right? The priest at the church. El sacerdote, that's what they used to call it in Spanish. That's
What'd you say?
El sacerdote.
Wow, just rolls off the tongue.
Yeah.
Bro.
So anyways, and he, you know, told her kids that, you know, he had denied her that privilege and, you know, what he had said, and that it was only for some certain people that, you know what I mean, that are spiritually, you know, endowed, that could understand that, and for her to try to fucking own a Bible
Yeah.
was out of the question, because it would drive her fucking crazy in the process of trying to understand it. Now, I will say that there's a little merit in that. There's a little merit in that, because you can read the Bible 2, 3, 4 times. There's so much shit in there that's not literal. It's symbolic. And for most people, the capacity to understand those things, it's fucking impossible. It is impossible.
Everything's so general. The symbol.
The reason it was broken down into stories was to make it digestible for the average person, the average intelligent person, to be able to grasp in concept.
Conceptual
Conceptual.
means. By the way, conceptual is incomplete. It is an idea. It's something that that can be tangible or infinitesimal, which you can make it whatever you want. The thing of concept is it's still an idea.
It's
and
an idea.
It's building still.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to say that those are the beginning stages.
No, that was great that you interject like that, because, you know what I mean? And like I said, listen, maybe I'm going to say a lot of words in this episode that you might not understand. It's going to be on YouTube. It's going to be on all the major platforms.
And Twitter.
And yeah, so listen, if there's words that you don't understand, listen, it's recorded. You can stop it. You can grab a piece of paper, a pencil, write down these words, and then you can fucking, you know, Google them later. Or
And
whatever.
some of them I might not pronounce correctly.
Yeah.
You know, we don't plan, we don't schedule anything. We do everything just I just
Like David just asked me 2 minutes before we started what I was talking about, and I told him, and he was like, "Whoa." He's like, "We're gonna do that today." But see, even
I'm gonna burst into flames.
see, it's like no. See, that's
I know.
yeah. So, but anyways, I'm glad that you said that. And so, yeah, conceptual. It's not, everything is not fucking literal. Everything is not fucking literal.
Conceptual means it's changing. It's still it's moldable. It's like
It's
okay,
open to interpretation. It's open to evolving.
like art. Art isn't made for the artist. It's made for the people to decide what they believe it means to them. What it means to them is what makes it art. If you have to explain it, it is not art. You make it, you share your pain, you pour your heart, your soul, your blood, your sweat, your tears, everything into that, all the emotion, and you allow other people to grasp it, look at it, and give their own perception. But whatever it means to them, that's the beauty of it. That is success as an artist.
Dave, and you as being an artist, let me ask you this. When you create something, a piece that means so much to you, realistically, just be fucking, I need you to be so fucking honest like you've never been in your life. Does it fucking mean anything if it doesn't come across to everybody like that?
Does it, I'm saying
Does it hurt your feelings if it's not received with the admiration that you feel for the piece?
Absolutely not.
Of course not.
No.
Of course not. Of course not.
And that's a whole other podcast.
Of course not.
No.
It's not supposed to.
No.
It's not supposed to. And just how you are, just how you fucking like spend hours and fucking passion into this fucking thing that you created and that you understand and it has meaning to you. That's all our relationship with God should ever be.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm not doing it for other people to fucking be like, oh, good for you, believe in God. Like, who gives a fuck if you think, you like, no, you don't understand this. This is a fucking personal thing that I got. I don't care that you find it admirable. I don't care about that. I don't care that you think I'm a piece of shit because I don't believe in religion. I have a personal relationship with him. And it's based on action, not words. I can say whatever the fuck I want. You could be the biggest liar in the world like most people tend to be now, bro. To most people now, it's just more important to say the right thing instead of doing the right
To
thing.
be accepted.
To be accepted.
To belong.
To belong.
Because we talked about that earlier today.
So it's like now it's that simple like you put the right fucking hashtag up in your social media, you're a fucking good person. Oh, you know, God bless Puerto Rico or God bless fucking Ukraine or you know what I mean? Fuck that. Like that's bullshit to me. And it's flavored a little like religion.
It's
Like,
not. It's not
you know,
genuine.
but not to lose to where we were going
Oh,
now.
yeah.
You know, and we're gonna do this a lot. This is too fucking big.
It's okay. I'll keep you track.
This is too big.
Keep you track.
But going back to what we were saying about our parents, a lot of people that I personally know and or our acquaintances or I've had some time to we've spent some time together. Most people are only the religion that they claim to be because that's the religion that their parents belong to.
That's all they were ever taught.
That's the extent of it. That's the extent of it. Just like I could make this correlation too because I've actually asked a lot of them. Why are you a Raider fan? And he was like, most of the answers that I've received is because my family was Raider fans, or my dad were Raider fans, or you know,
Wow.
my dad's side of the family don't really fuck with football, but my mom's family's always been a big Raider fan. So it's like, do you see the fucking patterns?
Mhm.
So, you know, not to get it, but it just is, I just wanted to make that comparison.
I just didn't want to get my ass kicked when I was a kid going against the Lakers when I was little. My brothers are 300 pounds, 6'2". I didn't want to get mutilated in my living room, so I just stuck with the program.
But you know, it's like, you know, people tend to be Laker fans because we're from LA. I get it. People seem to be Dodger fans because we're from LA. I get it. You know what I mean? There's a sense of fucking pride and
Galaxy.
and community. You know what I mean? I get all those things. I get all those things. I don't think it should correspond to what you associate with as far as your fucking faith. That's a completely different thing. We're not just fucking flying colors here to represent fucking a city. You know what I mean? Like, your fucking faith should be very fucking important to you. If you claim to have it, and if you don't, just be honest. Be honest with yourself, because at the end of the day, it's like, who gives a fuck anyway, right? No, people don't really care for you on that level. They don't care for you on your existential level. Most people don't. You know what I mean? Like, most people don't, bro. And it's like, because most people don't even have that insight for themselves. Like, religion is just a thing in the background. You know what I mean? Like, you know, since I sell life insurance, like, that's like, we always associate, like, people don't ever think about their life insurance. They know they have it.
Mhm.
They don't really know what it does. They don't really know how it works exactly. But they know they have it, and it's, you know, it's stacked somewhere. You know, it's like lost in the closet somewhere or between people. Because they really don't fucking know too much about it. They just know they pay a certain amount of money, and the family's supposed to get this much money, and that's pretty much the extent that they need to know.
Homie said it was good shit, bro. I gotta get it, Holmes.
Yeah, so you know what I mean? It's like, it's that, you know?
Yeah.
You know, to allude back to what we were saying, it's like, it's funny that that's how most people follow suit, and they're like, well, my parents were Catholic, so I'm gonna be Catholic.
Now, no one in my family agrees with me
Yeah,
at all. I'm what you call a black sheep,
Yeah.
probably, and that's okay.
Yeah.
I've been, called every name. I've been called everything, and it's okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me, but because
What bothers them more is that you don't fucking seem to follow suit like every other fucking person. That's what bothers them. That's what bothers a lot of people about me. I don't follow suit. They can't box me into a fucking category for their own fucking comfort. I couldn't care less. That wasn't always the case. There was a time and point in my life where I cared a lot what people thought about me. I don't anymore. I've dissociated so much from that fucking persona that I used to try to be, because it was just a fucking adopted persona of who I was for the acceptance.
however those experiences led you to here.
Yeah,
This
of
growth.
course. And then eventually my soul got tired of fucking playing that personality, right? And then I became depressed. And it's like, fuck. It was just, you know what I mean? Like that reference that I make to Jim Carrey that he said one time in an interview. He was like, the person everybody fucking knows is a fucking character. Jim Carrey.
Mm-hmm.
The guy that made movies. That's not who I am. He's like, that's why I fell into depression. It was my soul telling me, listen, I'm fucking tired of playing this character. I don't want to play this fucking character anymore. He's like, I stopped associating with being that fucking person, and the depression went away.
Wow.
And it's like, I always refer, like, there's very few things in life that have ever made more sense to me than that.
That's why I gave the correlation between art and religion. That's what it means to me. It plays hand in hand. Like you don't force anything. You don't know. You take it for what it is. You take what works for you, because not everyone is going through the same thing. Everyone has their own battles, their own journey.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of respect for my pastor, and he told me something. He said, he when you said God-fearing man,
Yeah.
he didn't say that once. He
Yeah.
said, just try, if you can, do what no other man can and show mercy.
Yeah.
Because if you really want to do this, he goes, it's probably not a winning battle. He was talking about our divorce, but do what no one else can, because that will set you free.
Yeah.
And I did, and it worked, and yeah, it was awesome. But going back to that and the answer I gave, it's probably the most genuine, honest answer that I can give, and I hope everyone can follow that reasoning.
Yeah, man. You know what I mean? It's a heavy fucking question, bro. Like I said, we could talk about this. This is the fucking ongoing question, the existential question that everybody's trying to fucking answer, bro.
That's great. That's why we're here. We're going to talk about it.
And you know what I mean? Maybe not in our circles. Maybe not in our demographic. Most people our age are worried about other shit, bro. You know what I mean? Worried about clout, and they're worried about other shit, Listen, everybody's on a different journey, bro. I'm learning not to fucking be so judgmental, because then I'm just an asshole on a spiritual level. You know what I mean? I'm not like everybody. This is individual. What you believe in, what you don't believe in, it has nothing to do with me.
The ego is always there.
It has nothing to do with me. I wish everybody would get it, because I think this is a lot. Not at first, but once you get your legs, it's a lot easier to move this way. Like, there's gonna be things. It just depends on what demographic or what age you are right now. But there's gonna be things through your life that come to destroy you. And if you don't have this spiritual fortitude, it will accomplish it. I just hope everybody at some point in their life stop and ask themselves, like, if I die today, And if you believe in heaven, how would I be received? How would I be received? You know, it's important. And I do believe there's something bigger than us. Like, I believe that, to me, what God is, he's not an old man and sitting in heaven with a long fucking beard like, you know, he's been portrayed. That's not who God is to me. God is the creation of all things. God created me just as well as it created fucking mosquitoes and created grass and it creates trees and all fucking wildlife and ocean. You know what I mean? Like, that's what God is to me. And to me, the understanding or the relationship I have with God, it's like, he's not separate from me. He is me. I believe God is in all of us. And God is having the human experience through each and every individual. That's what God is. God is creation. God is life source. He's the source of all life. He's the source of everything. He's the source of everything. The fucking stars, the fucking moon, all the other fucking planets. That's what he is to me. He's not a person. If conceptually you're already wrong to associate God with imagery. There's some fucking things that there's no words to describe. There's no fucking words sometimes to describe things, and God's one of those things. You know, in Jehovah's Witness religion, you know what I mean? They use that name, Jehovah. You know, there was times in human life where it was disrespectful to even use his name. Jehovah was an accepted name that people could call him.
Really?
Yeah. Bro, it's like there's so much of this shit. You gotta understand, like, how last time we said, how old is the Bible? It's only like, it's not even that. I'll Google that real quick.
I don't even think I ever touched the Bible.
Google it real quick, bro. It's not that fucking old. There's been humans, there's been human life way before, you know, religion ever even started, bro. You know what I mean? Just Google it real quick.
Go ahead. Yeah, I'm doing it. Go ahead.
It's just like, you know, for you to fucking sit there, you know what a piece of shit, first of all, you have to be to be like, yeah, I believe in God. And then to carry on like most of us do. Doing like, just like, not only are we knowingly sinning, we watch ourselves more. We're more afraid of the fucking police catching us doing something illegal than we are of fucking God seeing us sin. And that's the fucking truth. And that applies to me. That applies to all of us.
Me too.
That applies to all of us. We hide more from the fucking police and the fucking feds. People are more scared of them.
One time.
They're more scared of them. They're more scared of them than they are to fucking commit a sin against God or to fucking sin like. The sin, like, they'll do it right in the fucking open. They don't give a fuck.
That's the biggest misconception.
And then you're gonna tell me, did you believe in him? Like, so, I mean, people, I guess, listen, I'll give people the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they don't understand the question, bro. Because to believe in something means that you're gonna take appropriate actions to move it in a way that's according to that fucking belief.
In people's defense, they don't understand it because they don't understand a lot of questions every day of their life, every day, that questions that should be taken in intensely, very seriously, and given a huge amount of thought. How many people do you think do that on a day-to-day basis?
Very few.
Yeah.
You know what? And I'll say something in defense as well. People are too fucking distracted.
Yeah.
To fucking think about the shit that really fucking matters.
So much.
Everybody's so fucking distracted. There's so much fucking noise and fucking things pulling you this way and that way. Like, we just need to fucking shut our fucking brains down for a fucking minute. And think to yourself like, what the fuck am I doing? What the fuck am I doing? I'm almost fucking 40. I'm almost 50. I'm 60. I'm 70. What the fuck am I doing? I've been coming to the same fucking party all this fucking time. That's why my fucking kids are fucked up. That's why my life at home is fucked up. That's why I can't be happy no matter how much I obtain.
Yeah.
Like, how much more money do I need to make to fucking feel some fucking peace?
It's a bottomless pit. We're talking about a piece of scripture that is roughly 4,000 years old.
Yeah. And how long have humans been around? Jesus. Not only that, but just to, maybe it's a little bit off topic, and to maybe it's not, but I shot David an article this morning that I came across.
Oh my God.
Listen, I referred to religions in the past as corporate religions. The big ones. They're corporations. That's what they are. They just read a fucking snippet of that article, or just the headline of the article that I sent you this morning that I came across, and we're gonna do a whole episode on this, by the way. So this will be coming down the road soon. But just read the fucking title and then tell them how old that is. Go ahead. The heading of the article that I sent you this morning.
It is. The article's from TheGuardian.com, and this article
It's 6 years old.
yes, 6
Yeah.
years old.
It's 6
and
years old.
Titled "Religion in the United States is worth more than Google and Apple combined."
What's the approximate number that they made?
1.2 trillion
A year.
a year. Yeah, more than combined revenues of 10 biggest tech firms in America. Study shows religion in the United States is worth 1.2 trillion in a year, making it equivalent to the 15th largest national economy by itself, according to a study. The study was based, I don't want to get into that, but the faith economy has a higher value than the combined revenues of the top 10 tech companies in the world, including Apple, Amazon, and Google. Georgetown University conducted this particular study in Washington, D.C. It doesn't say when they started it, it just says when it was concluded. So we have no idea how long it took for them to compile this amount of data and then compress it and come up with these numbers.
Yeah.
They had to be working on it for years.
Do I believe in religion as a corporation? Yes. As an institution that's based on faith? No. Fucking killing it. 1.2 trillion a year. This is 6 years old. And these motherfuckers don't pay a fucking dime or penny in taxes because they're excluded from it. So do you think there might be a little bit more incentive for them to push this shit so hard?
Now there are
And don't know. Hold on. I gotta get this shit out. I gotta get this shit out.
Give me all of it.
Do you think they benefit from you buying in to the idea that this religion or this religion or this religion or this religion is the only one that's going to guarantee you a spot in heaven? Do you think at the end of the day they care about you on an individual level that much? Who the fuck cares about anybody nowadays that much? Or is there a bigger thing here? I mean, fuck, I don't know. I know just the small things that I've known about the Catholic religion is from talks that I've had with people that have belonged to the religion. I don't know anything about it. I've never belonged to it. I don't know anything about it.
Well, they practice it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But they have told me, I feel that they try to control you so much with fucking guilt. I always felt like I was being guilted and made to feel fucking bad for fucking up. Like, who doesn't fuck up? Who doesn't fuck up? Listen, you want to talk about fuck ups? What about all the molestation the fucking Catholic Church has done? So you're gonna fucking try to shame me. I'm out here committing sin because I'm a fucking human being, and you know we were born into sin.
Yeah.
According to the Bible, we're born into sin. Technically. And so there was a man that brought us into sin, and there's a man that's going to take us out, which is Jesus. That's the scriptures, right? That's the scriptures.
I'm just agreeing with you because I never read it.
Yeah. So you know what I mean? One man sold us into or brought us into sin, and the other one, if we put enough faith into him, will deliver us from that sin. And depending on what religion it is, I mean, you know.
Yeah.
I know there's some Muslim religions that believe that, you know, you die and get 100 wives or...
No, it's 1,000.
Oh, 1,000. I don't know, somewhere along. Like, every religion has their own little thing that they are like, this is your prize. This is your prize for, you know, following suit and dying for this shit. You know what I mean?
That's not a prize. It's a lot of work. 1,000 virgins? You gotta teach. Like 1,000.
Listen, bro. By the way, it's like, who that's alive can fucking guarantee me that?
I was just gonna say that. That's great that they can guarantee it.
You know, the only people that know for sure if there's a heaven or hell are the people that are dead.
Yeah.
And we can't fucking ask them. Everything is about faith. Everything is about faith. And faith is real. Faith is important. Faith is everything.
Yeah.
Faith is everything.
What's crazy is they can guarantee. Like, that's crazy.
Who can guarantee anything?
Fidelity Investments.
That's probably where they took the fucking model from.
I mean,
because they're a corporation.
I mean, yeah, I got a reasonable rate of return.
Yeah.
I mean, it worked out, and they guaranteed to me it worked, and that's
yeah. And listen, I'm not trying to push any agenda on you guys. I'm not trying to get you written up to any fucking cult that me and Dave are going to be starting anytime soon. This is a very individual thing.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with me.
But it's something
But it has everything to do with us on an individual level. And I just don't want you to buy into the idea that just because my parents believed in this and just because this thing that I've been associated with, you know, by proxy, you know, by proxy of your fucking parents or your family.
A default setting.
Listen, question things. Question everything. Question everything. For your own fucking entertainment, you know what I mean? And you will start realizing that a lot of this shit is bullshit. This is all fixed. This is all fucking, it's smoke and mirrors. That's all this fucking thing is, you know what I mean? And I know for certain because I've experimented it for myself, you know what I mean? You know, it's like, it's really fucking tough. It's tough. And to fucking have the balls to say that you believe in God, motherfucker, you are a piece of shit. Look at how you carry on. How the fuck you gonna tell me you believe in him? Like people just throw, like there's some people that are just compulsive liars. There's some people that are just not educated enough to really understand the fucking questions. You know what I mean? Like Jordan Peterson, you know what I mean? I'll use back to him. He's never answered this fucking question. You know what he says? And I think it's as good as it gets, man. I mean, he's like, I try to act like he exists. I don't believe in him, but I try to act like he exists. Isn't that awful? That's a fucking start. That's a fucking start. That's a fucking start. Let's try to fucking act like he really exists. And if he really existed, and you understand what you're, you know, if you follow the scriptures, and there's clear guidelines in there.
I like how I said try.
Open to interpretation.
Yeah.
And depending on what level of or how receptive you are to the information, that's what the levels are going to depend on. But it's just to get started. Try to fucking act like he does.
Yeah.
Try to act like he does. That's a fucking great start.
Yeah.
And do that on a personal level. Don't let some fucking, you know, priest in some fucking, you know, dramatic car, you know what I mean? tell you what the fuck to do. Like, who the fuck is this guy? He's a fucking human being just like me last time I checked.
Yeah. How do I know he doesn't have a Wayfair account?
And no, not only that, bro, but it's like, are they really teaching the Bible? Or are they preaching a gospel? They're preaching a gospel. They're preaching a gospel. They're not specifically talking about the Bible. They're preaching a bro. You know, I think my dog's over here dancing.
But continue.
I think she's had enough of the talk. But so we're gonna let her out to get some air.
She doesn't believe.
Yeah, she doesn't believe.
Come
I
on,
don't believe her.
Come on.
Haley's going to hell. But anyways, yeah, just to allude to what I'm saying, man, it's a very serious question, man. I don't think we even got to the meat and potatoes of this conversation, and
No,
maybe
and we're not supposed to.
No, we're not supposed to. This is the question that every religion has been trying to convince you that they know the answer to. Every religion does try to do that. They try to convince you, like the Mormons, the fucking Catholics, the Christians. They try to convince you that they know the answer to it. I just watched a documentary on Mormons on Netflix, and it spoke about, you know, there was a couple people that almost like outed the religion. How, you know what I mean? There were certain books that were gonna be revealed. People were getting killed over this shit, bro. Look at Mormons are blowing people up, bro, in their fucking cars because they don't want this shit to get out.
They're fucking gangsters, bro.
Bro,
Jeez.
listen. If I'm protecting 1.2 trillion a year, I might get a little violent. If I'm, or was it 2.3 or 1.3? What was it? Look at it again.
True is
1.2 trillion a year.
If I say trillion again, my chest is gonna hurt. This is stuff. I ain't counting it, bro.
Yeah, we're just throwing the fucking T word around like it ain't shit.
Hey, stop saying this. Okay, 1.2. Jesus.
So yeah, people are gonna be pretty fucking invested. I mean, if motherfuckers in the hood are killing each other for over fucking measly 100,000, 200,000 on the streets, you'd be fucking amazed what people are willing to do for 1 trillion a year, bro.
They will eat you. Come here, you.
You know, so you know, it's just, you know what I mean. We're gonna start wrapping it up, man. But
no, this was good.
I apologize. I got emotional about it, but it's like
Don't apologize.
it's heavy, man. It's heavy.
Well, that's the point of this show.
It's fucking heavy. Like, yeah, that's why when I told you what we were gonna talk about, you're like, fuck.
Yeah, I
I
know.
know. And like I said, don't listen to us for fucking spiritual advice, because what the fuck do we know? But I just want to ask you, I just want to ask questions that are gonna fucking spark curiosity in you, because you're internally, what goes on in here and here and here, that's the shit that plays out here. So you can tell me in here that you believe in him, but the way you fucking carry on, like, it doesn't show that. And if he is real, he's gonna judge us off our fucking actions, not what we say. Like, how unrealistic is that? That you just fucking confess in a fucking booth to somebody, or you get baptized and you wash away the fucking sin. It's not that fucking easy. Nothing's that fucking easy.
When you get home and close the door, you pull up in your driveway and go in your house and close the door, no one sees anything. And that's why it has to be done for you, for yourself, personal. It's got to be personal. You have to want it, you have to yearn for it, you have to want to be better.
Yeah, that's it. You know what I mean? And so, thank you for joining us again. I know this one was kind of heavy, and sometimes we went on. It's just a big issue to tackle. It's the fucking question that people have been trying to answer for years.
Any closing notes? Anything?
Yeah, just, you know what I mean. Like, I don't mean to discourage anybody in the faith that they belong to currently. I'm just asking them to be more self-involved in their own salvation. That's it. Be a little bit more present in your own salvation, and don't leave something as big as the salvation of you and your family in the hands of an institution or a religion or a priest or whatever. Be self-involved. If you own a Bible, which I'm sure a lot of us do, pick it up. Read some of it. Start with Genesis. See if from the little that you know or the abundance of knowledge that you have spiritually, you're able to pick something new up. Build a curiosity for your own salvation. For your own, that's it. That's it. We already do it on certain levels when it comes to nutrition, you know what I mean? When it comes to our financial livelihood or our financial wealth, you know what I mean? Like, we already do it on a whole other bunch of levels. But I always think we forget the most important one. If spiritually you are not fortified, shit will come into your life and fucking destroy it as you know it. It will you will lose people, and you won't have the fucking fortitude spiritually to survive that, because losing somebody, it's fucking brutal, man. It's fucking brutal. If you have a child that you've been fucking anticipating for years and the baby is born sick, having faith and having a spiritual fortitude, it's what's going to allow you to be a present parent for that sick child and continue to care for it. Because at the end of the day, it was still a fucking gift from God or the creator of life. Like, it's not that baby's fault he was sick. Maybe he's been sent to test your faith, to see if you have the fortitude to not condemn that child for not being a perfect fucking version. God works in mysterious ways, you know what I mean? I prefer God as a universe and God, you know what I mean? And that's okay for me. You guys call him whatever you want. You guys call him whatever you want. It doesn't. What you call him, it doesn't matter as much as how you carry yourself with the belief that he exists. And so those are my closing thoughts. Do you have anything, Dave?
No, I think we have about 4 or 6 different shows out of this one show. That's
Yeah.
Spark, but this was intense, and I'm glad I wore clean underwear. But yeah,
I don't think they're clean anymore.
yeah.
Yeah, but listen, man, it's heavy, and like I said, we want to bring a light connotation to it, so it's not so fucking bad. You know what I mean? Like, it's not so fucking like. Listen, just conversation, a back and forth. We're not claiming. We're just trying to impose questions that will make you question your own salvation. That's it. And you know what I mean? If you want to judge us for that, great. But you know what I mean? Like, if there's something to take away from that, is like, that's all we're saying. And you know what I mean? Maybe there's more motivation in religion than, you know what I mean, than the salvation of each of their people that belong to their, I don't know, congregation or whatever it is. But you know what I mean? It's also a fucking hell of a corporation. It's fucking, these other corporations you guys consider giants are fucking sucking on their nutsack because they're nowhere near them.
Jesus.
You know what I mean?
The two-hand approach?
The two-hand approach.
Jesus.
So anyways,
Salt and pepper?
God bless you. Whatever that means to you.
Grind the pepper.
Yeah.
The Olive Garden. Yeah, sorry, guys.
And
Anyway.
you know what I mean? That was me and Dave with episode 26. Do you believe in God? And if so, in word or action? Thank you guys, and you guys have a wonderful night. Thank you for joining us again.
Part 1.
That's why I didn't want to do the